Welcome to our video. And I'm saying our video because this transmission and message comes to you via Marie Coverley and Thoth. Thoth is the one who's actually up front and center today, guys, and he is all around because of course he would be, because we're in the process of walking through this powerful threshold moment where we're bringing the fire of Sekhmet's of creation and passion and purpose into form. And that is where Thoth steps in. And that's our overall process right now that we're walking through, especially as we're now kind of like we're in February now, so this is where our nervous systems have been like this. What we are aiming towards now is a powerful sacred architecture that comes around us like a beautiful pyramid, and inside of us is that powerful flame. So the flame is harnessed and held by a container, and then that brings the divine masculine where everything is balanced. Without it, flame can get blown out. Without it, the flame can just burn out of control, and it's all a bit messy, all right? But when we have a powerful divine masculine structure within us from the sacred architecture that we have called forth for our new earth timeline, then it becomes a complete game changer. And this is kind of like the nuts and bolts of this video, right? So Thoth's role, let me prop him up here. Got so many notes to share with you. As always, I really am a very much in Thoth's energy right now, as I'm a sacred scribe deluxe. Okay, so now reading off my notes here. Thoth's role in landing. Okay, threshold moment, right? That's where we are. So of course we are letting go of the old sacred architecture that did hold us up. Let's keep it real. Let's not diss that old architecture. We were living in a fucked up world, man. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it's very different to the one that we know now and the one that we're going to, right? Because that world required us to basically self-sacrifice, to, things were just, it was just victim consciousness the whole way. Dark nights of the soul, going through like digging the foundations and everything like that. So our sacred architecture did serve us well for that purpose. Did we like living in that old earth? No, not really. Were we accepting in our mission? Yes, absolutely, but we ain't doing it anymore. So as that sacred architecture crumbles, which is the nervous system burning away right now, in my previous videos, I've spoken a lot about how the nervous system, or rather Sekhmet spoke about it actually. She said this one of the functions of the nervous system is burning all the shit that you don't need out of the way. It's the old sacred architecture. That is limiting beliefs. That is old habits, right? That is, old stories, everything like that. It's got to go because the new sacred architecture is about to be revealed. No different to moving into a beautiful old house. You find the fireplace and it is buried under so many layers of 1960s wallpaper. You decide to restore it and you keep taking the layers back. You keep taking the layers back. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, look. There's the original template. There's the original bones of that beautiful fireplace. And it's early 1700s and it's gorgeous. Who would want to cover this up? But it's kind of a bit like that. And this is the great reveal. So our sacred architecture is really, really coming online. And the beautiful thing about this, and I've said it before, and it's really important for you to take this in, it's becoming very much of a physical experience, a spiritual physical experience, meaning you can't clear the road just through channeling and feelings and emotion now. You've got to physically turn up to actually move obstacles out the way. Yeah, I'm going to put this bottle over here. I don't like it there. I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to rearrange everything because it needs physical moving around. You know what I mean? And that is you moving away from old communities into new ones. Or if you don't have a community, moving into a community. It's about ditching that job that you're just thinking, well, that served its purpose. Ditching that relationship. Not just about ditching, also about calling new ones in. So there's a big, like, very, very physical life thing going on. And this is all Thoth. This is what it looks like on ground, right? Not just like stuck in the ancient realms of like, civilizations being built and all that kind of thing, like Atlantis and Egypt, because that's what we need to do. If we're going to pass go right now, you're going to be really landed in your body. And this is the embodied experience. Your guides, your connections, your channels are going to start to hit differently because you're in the embodied experience. You have decided to come into the physical body. So when you start to channel from this place, it's different, right? It's better. Okay. So now, overwhelmed, create a container. Absolutely. Overwhelmed, create that container. And I'm like, and it's all about short-term goals, right? So this is, again, kind of running off the back of my nervous system videos. I'm very good at basically putting systems in place, giving you structure, giving you divine order in your physical life to know how to put one foot in front of the other. That's what I do. You're right. And like the way I look at life, okay, is short-term goals. Like I've said before, if you're sat in depression and sadness and you're in the depths of it, look, I can turn around and you saying, just be joyful tomorrow. It's a bit of a reach, isn't it? It's a bit like if I said to you, right, I need you to manifest $500,000 in a week's time. Can you do it? And you're like, well, anything's possible, but your body's going, no, keeping it real, that ain't going to happen. If I said to you, can you manifest $200 in a week's time? Yeah. I can do that. So we have to be a bit realistic here, right? So when you're feeling overwhelmed during this time of massive change, where Thoth is ditching your old sacred architecture and he's bringing you forth a new one, which aligns with the purpose that you came here to fulfill, what happens is basically you've got to be quite real with yourself now. So when you wake up on a day, how does that look like on the ground? Well, it's like, well, I'm really, do you ever wake up and you're overwhelmed with so many jobs to do? You've got so much going on. You're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you do nothing because you procrastinate. Well, that is a very floppy divine feminine. Why? Because the sacred architecture is not there to support her. So she ain't doing shit today, man. You're not paying her enough to get out of bed, right? So she's going to be floppy, procrastinating, like a floppy piece of lettuce, right? But if you give her a container and you say, listen, I want you to do 2 of those projects today, and you can take 48 hours over it, and that's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to focus on, and the other stuff, we'll look at that when it's time to look at that. But right now, 1 day, 2 days, this is what we're doing. And you give it a container, and you look at your list and you go, that's all I'm doing. You get rid of all the white noise. That creates the divine masculine architecture around you so you can drop your divine feminine in. And guess what? That thing where you were a floppy lettuce is now all of a sudden going to be like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to create, honey, because my man is here to hold it down. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, sorry. So that's basically what's happening here, right? So this is very much Thoth. It might not be the normal, like, kind of like channeled ancient Egypt message that I bring to you usually, but it's for real. Okay, so like, now, alignment with the all mind. Okay, so Thoth has told us, well, this is his words here. He said, grants you salvation. That's not one of my words, that's his words. Alignment with the all mind grants you salvation. So how is this going to happen to get this divine masculine structure? Well, first of all, you have to come out of the cave. You have to agree to step in and step up. Not to necessarily take action. I believe that will be kind of like after the flames of February. We're going to really get popping with that. But it's getting close. But right now, you're really getting your footing and you're kind of like stabilizing yourself, getting ready for the action, right? So now, like, how do we get from A to B? Well, first of all, you have to align yourself. Because if you're, put it this way, if I'm going to talk to you and you're living in the projects and I'm trying to tell you of this beautiful life that you need to live and you're living on burgers and shitty food and you know what I mean? It's just like all you've got like is a very, very dark, restrictive, not so high vibrational life. Then of course that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So you're going to say to yourself, well, if I want to go and have that life, I got to move out of this community. I've got to move out of this environment. I have to move out of this space because this space does not match who I am inside. So that takes a you thing. You have the physical body. You can to move from there to there, right? That's what's required, okay? Then in that moment, you take the first step into the arena. And what you've done there through your physical moving in your life is you've started to align with the all mind, right? You conspire with the all mind. This is why I'm always going on about it, that you shouldn't be handing your power over to teachers that are going to tell you about you. You know about you. You plug in here, you go straight to the all mind. That's where those ideas are coming from because the all mind's up here and it's communicating all the time. So those ideas and visions, I'm going to do this. And then 5 minutes later, you talk yourself out of it because it's just it's not going to happen because I'm living in the projects. Yeah, whatever, victim consciousness. No, you basically go with what comes in and you act upon it. You're like, yes, that was truth. That is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to move, right? So it's really, really important that you take this part of this video in, right? So this creates the foundation. So when you align with the all mind, that is, then let Thoth do the rest. Okay. That's all that has to be done, right? So then the sacred architecture then moves around you. When you've made the shift, when you've come into alignment, when you've stopped running from yourself and you've gone, hang on a minute, and you've stopped and you've gone, I'm going to turn to face me. And you do that, right? Then that's when the magic happens. So no more running, no more fearing, no more doubting. Stop, face you. Because you are magnificent and you've got some really cool shit in there. And that you wants to tell you about some really cool shit they got going on in there. Stop, turn around, face yourself, come home, right? Once you've come home and you're in alignment, okay, Then Thoth can do its work. He says very clearly that your sacred architecture will only form around you when you have made the move, right? It's not how it works that they do this first and then you move. So you have to come into the space. You have to give your sacred yes that you want to align with the truth of who you be and that you are basically an expression of the all mind. That is who you are. And right now we're in that critical point of change. And that is why it's a bit stingy sore for a lot of us, even me who does this work every day. So I get it. So now with this video, I'm going to just kind of share with you a message that I actually channeled for the Hecker Codes group. And I'm sure these darlings won't mind if I share this because it was actually for the Hecker Codes group for initiates. And, and I really do feel that you guys need to receive this message as well. Now, Thoth channeled this message through to us as a group, specifically for what we were doing, but it's very relevant to what we are talking about here. So need to share it. So take a few deep breaths, just relax. Let the shoulders relax, let the jaw relax. Open your energy field, open your internal field, and just receive these words from Father Thoth. Can you contain your fire? Can you contain your flame? It is the creative and destructive forces of Sekhmet's fire that lays the blueprint for your sacred architecture to take form. Fire into form. This is what you know. This is what you have always known. This is the ancient alchemical process that births solidarity through ideas. This is the very process that takes spirit, the all-mind, into matter. Without sacred architecture that serves, fires spread uncontrollably without decisive direction, without awareness, without purpose, without point. Only when one turns to self, one finally acknowledges the truth of who they be. Can sacred architecture take form? One would say yes when one steps into the arena. As you confidently and triumphantly stride into the new earth timelines, you will bear witness to the magic that unfolds around you, an architecture that is worthy of housing you. Worthiness, this is where you arrive to meet me, initiate, expectant, open, and worthy. It is worthiness that magnetizes systems that hold an anchor so that you can finally show up, complete and wholesome as the powerful conscious creator you have always been. Now, do you see? It is your inner world that must align with the all mind to create a world around you that supports and holds you so that you can exercise your birthright and will as a master builder of this new earth cycle. This is the sacred contract that you and I entered into, beloved, and this contract is now being fulfilled. Once you land fully into this timeline, you will come to know and bear witness to your brilliance, magnificence, and divine genius that you've always held within you. This is your tablet of light that I speak of here. The great reveal is you, dear initiate. You are a distant cry from the soul that hid, who dimmed their light to fit in, who dimmed their sacred light to survive. That was then, and must now be relinquished to the past. That time is now done as we consciously close on this cycle. Who you were back then is not who you be now. Full acceptance of your true version must be acknowledged by you to proceed. Your tablet of light is now active and alive within you. This is the fire you feel in your beings. This is Sekhmet's fire for passion, for purpose, which now beautifully and poetically blends into union with my sacred form. It is this very union that anchors it all, the sacred bridge, if you will, when the moment of threshold is felt. Fire meets form, and this is the very alchemical ignition that awakens the master within, and the master is you. The path is set before you. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Do not question. Lay down your distortion so that your truth may tell. No more waiting, no more preparing. This is your call to action, the moment you've been waiting for lifetimes. I, Jehuti, say, the time has arrived, and so have you. And then I was shown Thoth activating a simultaneous frequency that lights up the tablets of light throughout the world within each and every one of us, like a switch that's been flicked, a strong message that it is time to move, time to take action. You are ready. And that, my dears, is what we've been waiting for such a long time. I know I have. Is it yet? Are we there yet? Is it now? Are we there yet? Is it now? Like I say, much like Donkey on Shrek. Are we there yet? We are. So I'm going to leave that one there. And like I say, you know, it's time. It's time. So I do hope that medicine finds you well. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.